I give Toledo a lot of credit. It's a really good basketball team. There's a ton of individual talent on that team. It was on full display today. We wasted a really good offensive effort to shoot 54% on the game, shoot 61% the second half, turn the ball over 7 times, which has been an issue for us here in MAC play. To waste that type of offensive effort because you can't guard anybody is disappointing. So, give Toledo a ton of credit. They just lined us up, run some false motion, got a guy on his spot, played one-on-one. We had no answer. And then the second half, when we got our feelings hurt, we got embarrassed because we couldn't guard them. We lacked a real competitiveness, which is more bothersome than not being able to defend them. To give up 15 offensive rebounds. So they not only just beat us, just whipped us one-on-one off their play. Then when we did force a miss, we weren't able to get the rebound. So when you do that, you give up 93 points on your home court, which is not good. Just like I said, just a complete wasted offensive effort because we played really good offense. We just could not stop them at all.
Players, it kind of seemed energy seemed to shift in the second half. What did you guys see on the court for that to happen?
I can't even say offensive sensitive because we scored the ball. We just didn't have enough fight. Like, they came down and scored whenever they wanted, and there wasn't a point where we all as a group said enough is enough. Just kind of took it, and that can't happen.
Yeah, they just scored every time. We just didn't stop them. We didn't stop them. We needed to play better defense, but we couldn't get stops.
In your guys' mind, how do you guys feel like you changed that? How do you guys change that mindset of having that energy consistently throughout all 40 minutes?
We've been talking about it every game. We just have to do it. It's a point in time where we got to just do it and just fight and just care on the defensive end. Our offense is fine. I think it's just defense for us.
Yeah, Coach. How does playing Ohio and now playing so two of the topper teams in the MAC? How does playing those two teams back to back kind of prepare you guys defensively? Because I know defensively has been something these last 2 games that has been something you've addressed. How does that prepare you going forward?
Well, I don't know if it prepares you. I think it exposed us. I think Ohio's exposed us in a lot of ways. I think Toledo exposed us in some ways. It's out there. So now you're either going to stand up and fight or you're going to run away. I think that's part of what us as adults have to be better at is forcing these kids to stand up and fight and not allow them to run away. Not force them to, but equip them with the things that it takes to stand up and fight instead of just running away from problems and pointing fingers. And then I think us as adults have to do a much better job in those areas to protect our futures because these guys, we're going to get old and these guys are going to be taking over. And I just don't think they're equipped to when that avalanche of things happen to you. For us in the second half, not being able to guard the ball and get stops, you're able to fight and do everything you can to combat that instead of getting embarrassed and going into a shell and trying to run away from the issue. Like you stand up and fight, and there's going to be days you get your ass whipped. We got our ass whipped today. But are we going to fight? Toledo got their ass whipped on Tuesday. I bet you they didn't have a poor practice on Thursday.
Coach, there was a moment when I think it was Wanzi threw a water bottle on the sidelines and walked into the tunnel. Does that kind of show the frustrations of a loss like this?
It's an immature kid not equipped to handle adversity. It's my job to help him through that.
I know you guys have kind of all said that offensively doesn't really seem to be the issue, but and kind of on that note, you guys are able to have 15 assists by the end of the game. Your guys' ball movement throughout most of the game seemed to be pretty effective. How did you feel that offensive flow was able to affect your guys' ball movement?
We shot 54%. We shot 61% the second half. The only thing that you could say we didn't do well is we didn't shoot the three very well tonight. We were 4-16. We got to the free throw line, but because our minds weren't completely into it, we shot poorly from the free throw line. But that was not a problem. Like, offense was not a problem. I mean, it was okay. I mean, like, if you like watching offensive basketball, tonight was probably a good game to watch. I mean, I'm sure our efficiency numbers are high, and then obviously Toledo's are really high.
Coach, Toledo had 22 rebounds in the second half versus your guys' 6.
Yeah.
Was that just effort, or what were you seeing?
I think it's a culmination of things, and I think it starts with what you just said. Yeah, like it goes back to what I said. When things start going poorly, like, do you stand up and fight, or do you will? Right? And we had, just couldn't put ourselves out there, put it on the line and challenge them in a way that, like, hey, if you're going to beat us, like, beat us with your best. And that's going to happen. That's life. Like, you're going to get knocked down. Like, man, but you've got to have enough stuff to you to be able to continue to fight and take your licks when you get them and stand up and fight the next day. All right? If you have that, you're going to be successful more times than not, because there's not enough people that are equipped to do that. And that's what I think athletics is so good, because it forces people to deal with adversity. But the problem is, like, a lot of these guys these age, it's not their fault. They haven't been forced to do that. They just go on this team, that team, transfer schools, run from this coach, run from that coach. Like, instead of an adult in their life being like, no, man, like, this is where you figure it out. Figure it out. Like, that's what I had. Growing up, high school, college, like, figure it out. It wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't easy. The stuff we did, stuff was hard, right? But it equips you to do the things, and I think it's why I'm in the position that I'm in now, and it's why I've had the success that I've had in my coaching career, because I've been around some great people that also demanded those same things.
Ethan, I see you kind of nodding your head with everything he just said. Kind of, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he just talked to us. We hear that type of coaching in practice every day. I mean, he's right. Now it's time for us to just actually put it into fruition in practice. I think, like, we don't start practices off well sometimes, and then we don't know how to get ourselves back from that, and you see that in the game. So when we handle adversity better, which is basically what he's saying, we'll be the team we're supposed to be, but we're just not there right now. So tomorrow we just got to come back, learn from film, that game's over, and attack the day with the right mindset so we can, be better.
To both players, how do you go about that?
We gotta
demand it.
Yeah, it starts from the
class.
seniors. It starts from the older guys.
We gotta be better, and then the underclassmen will see that, and hopefully learn it and keep doing it like we do. But we gotta demand it first, and then it will grow. With each person on the team.
Gotta be able to take hard coaching, hard constructive criticism, handle it, respond the right way, and that should trickle down. But we just haven't been consistent enough in that area this far, which is why we're 8-9. Win one game, play really well, lose the next game, play super bad. It's kind of what we're doing every day. So once we get that piece figured out, we'll be all right.
Yeah, Ethan, tonight you were in the first half alone. You were able to kind of match your season high in scoring and conference play, but then in the second half, offensively things seemed to kind of fall off a little bit. First of all, in that first half, when you're seeking shots aggressively and they're falling, what kind of a confidence boost does that give you in seeking out your shot? And then when things kind of take a turn in that second half, what's kind of your mindset when things kind of take a turn that way?
It's not even a confidence thing, because like I have confidence in myself. It's just keeping my mind right. I feel like when my mind's in the right spot, everything else takes care of itself. So I'm flying around on defense, which leads to transition on offense, easier shots, things like that. And when I'm not shooting the ball great, keep my mind in the right spot, and things are turning the other way. And if not, Just gotta keep fighting. But it's my mind. That's it.
That's all I got.
Thanks, guys.